Okay, so let's find out. Okay, so transformation of the displacement between 2 points. Transformation of the displacement between okay, so let's find out. Okay, so we are supposed to draw two reference frame here, the primary one and then the secondary one. Let's say this is the primary reference frame, x, y and z having the axis and origin at point O. Okay, this is the origin point here. Let's say this is the frame S, our primary reference frame, and now we are subjected to draw our secondary reference frame, saying the frame S dash with the coordinates having x dash, y dash and z dash. Okay, these are the coordinates x dash, the coordinate y dash, and this is the coordinate z dash and origin at point O dash. For example, this is the time when we are considering our point P here, and now we are subjected to draw our position vectors. We will go through having 4 position vectors by now. Let's say this is the position vector R1 here. This is the R1 vector, and from this reference frame, let's say this position vector is R1 dash vector. Okay. So now the point P is moving at another position, saying the position Q. So the position vector from the primary frame of reference, let's say this is the R2 vector, and from the secondary reference frame, let's say this is the R2 dash vector, and this is the displacement PQ here. Let's say this is the displacement D. So let's find out what should the value of D2 must be, because D2 will have two values here. The two values, the value for the secondary frame S dash and for the primary frame S here. Okay, so we will find out two values for the this is the frame S and this is the frame S dash. Okay, so we will find out the values for both the frames, our primary frame of reference and then our secondary frame of reference. Let's find out. These are the position vectors. Don't get confused for these values. We will gonna calculate by now. Again, one more position vector that I forgot here is the position vector joining O to O dash, the displacement vector here. This is the displacement. Okay, so let's find out the displacement vector here representing the coordinates. Displacement vector between 2 points in the frame S. Okay, we have our primary frame of reference, say frame S. So PQ vector is equals to, let's say this is D vector, which is equals to R2 vector minus R1 vector. Okay, this is the displacement vector here, and the position vector for the points R dash. Okay, this is the position vector here. Keep it in mind. We will gonna solve this for our equations. We will need this value further. If you remember the coordinate transformation, then you remember the coordinate transformation of positions according to the coordinate transformation of positions within the frames S and S dash. Okay, if you remember the results here, the results which are which are saying like that r1 dash vector is equals to r1 vector minus v vector t. You remember this result? I hope that you pretty much remember this result. So the same thing will happen for the r2 vector here. Let's say this is equation 1. r2 dash vector must be equals to r2 vector minus v vector t. Let's say this is equation 2. We have two equations here, two transformation equations within the frames S and S dash. These are the transformation of positions or the transformation of displacement, you can say. Well, we have used the word displacement here, so this is inappropriate to keep on using the same word again and again. We will get confused. So reducing the confusions, let's say this is the transformation of positions for both the frames. So what should be the value of distance by now? So the displacement vector, so the displacement vector PD is equals to, which is equals to d vector. Well, this is r2 vector minus r1 vector. Let's say this is r2 dash vector and r1 dash vector. That doesn't mean here, because we will gonna use the values right in here. Well, let's say this is r2 vector, r1 vector. This is equals to r2 dash vector minus r1 dash vector, because this is same for this, this quantity must be the same here. We are subjected to find out this particular quantity, saying the what should be the value of displacement here, what should be the value of d. Okay, so we are going to use these equations. Okay, so using equation 1 and equation 2, what we will have? We will gonna use these two equations, and we will end up having our result saying d vector is equals to r2 dash vector, which is equals to r2 vector minus v vector t, again minus r1 vector minus v vector t. We have substituted the values for the r1 dash vector and r2 dash vector. Okay, so what we will have? We will have saying this is d dash vector actually. Okay, this is d dash vector, displacement vector in frame, and this is the displacement vector in frame S. This is for the frame S, this is for the frame S dash. Okay, so for the frame S dash, we will gonna use these values r dash. Okay, so what we will have, d dash vector is equals to r2 vector minus r1 vector minus v vector t plus v vector t. So these are cancelled out. Well, if these quantities are cancelled out, let me say this is equals to, if you remember, what does this quantity equals to? This quantity equals to this particular quantity. Okay, this is equals to the d vector here. So what we will end up having? We will end up having d dash vector is equals to d vector, or you can say this is the simply d dash is equals to d. Okay, so this is what we are subjected to find out. So what we concluded from the results here? We concluded that the displacement within the position of any point for any reference frame, if you observe this displacement from the primary reference frame or from the secondary reference frame, you will end up having same results. If this this displacement is equals to, let's say this is about, you say this is about 2 meters, then for the frame S dash it is also 2 meters, and the observer from the frame S will observe it 2 meters also. Okay, so it means that we concluded from this result that the displacement vector for both the frames, for the primary reference frame and for the secondary reference frame, will have the same values. So this is what it is. You can take a screenshot for your reference, then we will proceed further with our more examples. Okay, hope you have done with the screenshots here. So let's come up with the transformation of velocity. Well, this is the transformation of displacement here. Let me clear this off from this origin. Okay, we will find out the transformation of velocity by now. Let's proceed for the transformation of velocity. Okay. The transformation of velocity. If you remember that we have talked about saying r dash vector is equals to r vector minus v vector t. We concluded this result. So we will differentiate this equation. Differentiating above equation with respect to time t. So differentiating what we will have dr dash vector over dt is equals to dr vector over dt minus this v vector, and we will end up having a result saying this is v dash vector which is equals to small v vector. Let's say this is if we take this as take it as u, this is u dash vector is equals to u vector minus v vector. This is the transformation of velocity here. So the velocity is same as that of the coordinate transformation for the velocity for the frames s dash and for the frame s. So this equation represents transformation of velocity and which transformation? Galilean transformation. Galilean transformation for velocity, Galilean transformation of velocity for inertial frames, S and S dash. So this is the transformation of velocity. Similarly, in this case we will find out the transformation of acceleration here. The transformation of acceleration, let me clear this off again, and we will find out the transformation of acceleration. The transformation of acceleration. So we will differentiate this equation again. So we will have du dash over dt is equals to du over dt minus this is again 0 because the velocity, because these frames as these are following the law of inertia, that means that this frame is moving again with a uniform velocity v. So this should be equals to 0. So what we will end up having? We will end up having a result saying a dash vector is equals to a vector. Okay. Yes, this is equals to a dash vector is equals to a vector. So this is what we are supposed to come up with. So this is the results for the transformation of acceleration which we are supposed to calculate, and we concluded from this results that the transformation, the Galilean transformation equations for two reference frame, I mean two inertial reference frame S and S dash will possess the same acceleration for a position or displacement of position. Okay. So this is what we are supposed to calculate. You can take a screenshot for your reference, then we will proceed further for our new examples. Okay. So we have calculated acceleration here, we have calculated the velocity, we have calculated the displacement. So we should calculate the force also here. Let me clear this off. The transformation of velocity is no longer needed here. We will go for the transformation of force by now. Okay. What if this point P or the object at P experience a force for the frame S dash? Should the force is experienced in the same sense for the frame S? Let's find out. We will go for the transformation of force here. Let's find out what should be the value here. The transformation of force. You remember that force is equals to, simply it is defined as mass into acceleration. This is the simple definition of force. And if any object at P has any mass m, you remember that mass is a constant quantity. Okay. So for this is for frame S, and for the frame S dash, F dash is again equals to m A dash, and you know that A dash is equals to A from the transformation equations of acceleration, and this implies that F dash will also equals to F. So this is the transformation of force. Which transformation of force? This is the Galilean transformation for force. Galilean transformation equation for force. So the force will again remains the same for the Galilean transformation. So this is the time for the transformation of force. So now we will talk about the law of conservation of momentum. Yes, this is also applied for different reference frame. Law of conservation of momentum. Let's say any kind of momentum at point P, should it will be equals to any kind of momentum at point at point Q. Okay, let's say the velocities initially are at point P, the velocities you say are u1 and u2, and for the velocities at point Q you say are the v1 and v2. Then what we will end up having, according to the law of conservation of momentum, we will have saying m1 u1 plus m2 u2 m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is the law of conservation of momentum. Will this law be satisfied in this equation? Well, these are the equations for the conservation of momentum. This is the total conservation in frame S dash, total momentum in frame S dash before collision, and this is after collision. This is the time when we are expecting two different particles for the frame S dash. For the secondary frame of reference, we do not taking only point P into consideration. This figure is no longer taken into consideration. This figure is only to understand that if you have two particles for a reference frame S, a primary reference frame, and for a reference frame S dash, which is the secondary reference frame. So before collision, if the velocities are u1 and u2 and the particles of mass having m1 and m2, and if you remember that mass always remains conserved because mass is a constant quantity, so the mass factors are m1 and m2 again, but after collision the velocities should be changed. Let's say that those velocities are v1 and v2 by now. These are the two velocities after collision, and these are velocities before collision for two different particles. So let's find out that if these values are equals to each other. You remember the relation between u1 and v1. u1 must equals to u1 dash plus v vector. Yes, this is what this is the transformation equation for secondary reference frame, and similarly for u2 dash, and similarly for u3 dash. This is u1, and for u2 we will have u2 dash plus v. Okay, let's say this is capital V. Okay, because these are the small v's which we are going to use again and again. And also let's say v1 will equals to v1 dash plus v, and v2 vector again equals to V2 dash plus capital V. So we will gonna use all these values instead of U1, U2 and V1 and V2. So we need a workspace by now. So let me clear this off the board here, the board in here. This is no longer needed. Okay, let's find out the transformation equation, what it will be. This will be equals to M1 for U1 you say U1 dash plus V plus M2 U2 dash plus V is equals to M1 V1 dash plus capital V plus M2 V2 dash plus capital V. Okay, so this is an algebraic equation. So keeping in mind, we have these values V here. So in the components of M1V, M2V, M1V, M2V will be cancelled out in the both of sides, and what we will end up having, we will have M1 U1 dash plus M2 U2 dash is equals to M1 V1 dash plus M2 V2 dash. This is the transformation of velocity in frame S, and this is the transformation of this is the conservation of momentum in frame S, and this is the conservation of momentum in frame S dash, and these both look similar because no another factor is in here. So it means that what we got from these results, we got that the conservation, the momentum for both the reference frame remains conserved. It implies that the momentum for both the reference frame remains conserved. Okay, so the momentum remains conserved. We have proved the law of conservation of momentum for both of these reference frame using the Galilean transformation. You can take a screenshot for your reference, then we will proceed for the law of conservation of energy by now. I hope that you are done with the example here. Let me go for the law of conservation of energy. Okay. So you remember the total energy is equals to the kinetic energy plus potential energy, but we will use the energy configuration here as follows. Conservation of energy Okay, let's prove the conservation of energy here. So we have two different particles which are going to collide for both these reference frames. So let's find out what will happen. Before collision, well, this is for the frame S. Before collision, the energy you say total kinetic energy before collision. We are talking about the kinetic energy. Before collision, it you say half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square, and after collision half m1 v1 square half m2 v2 square. Well, this is for the frame S. So what should be the values for the frame S dash? For the frame S dash, we will transform these velocities for these values. Let's say if according to the law of conservation of energy, sorry, I have mistakes, I have skipped one step here. From the law of conservation of energy half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square is equals to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. Consider this equation because this equation is pretty much important. We will going to solve out using this equation, our mole reference. In frame S dash, we will use u1 instead of u1 we will use u1 dash plus v here. Okay, let's see. Before collision, what is before collision? The total kinetic energy before collision, let's say, is equals to half m1 u1 dash plus v square plus half m2 u2 dash plus v square. Okay, and after collision half m1 v1 dash plus v square plus half m2 v2 dash plus v square. Let's say if there is any another energy factor, say Q. Q is the energy which is emitting or exerting in the form of collision. Before every time when there is a collision, the energy should be emitted or the energy should be exerted in the form of free energy. So this is what it is. This is the free energy here. Okay. So after collision we have this value is equals to this. So according to law of conservation of energy, if we are going to use the law of conservation of energy, then what we will end up having? We will end up having these values, saying the values for the V, the values for V will be cancelled out for both the sides. So what we will end up having? We will end up having the value saying half u1 square. Well, these should be considered in the magnitude form, saying that you are going to find out their magnitudes here. These are the magnitude forms, because if you are considering the negative axis, the velocity could be negative, but it should be considered positive only. Remember a vector identity saying the square of these kind of magnitudes, what it will be? It will be a plus b dot well, these are the vector quantities. Sorry, these are vector quantities here. A vector plus b vector. This is the value should be equals to, and this is again equals to the a square plus b square plus 2ab plus 2a vector dot b vector. This is the extension of this vector quantity. We will use this extension for those values, and using these values we will have the law of conservation of momentum. We will compare it having the values, we will end up having the values saying this half m1 u1 dash square plus half m2 u2 dash square u2 dash square plus half m1 u1 dash plus half m2 u2 dash, and this will equals to, well, this will have a multiple of v vector also, and this will equals to half m1 v1 dash square v1 dash square plus half m2 v2 dash square plus half m1 v1 vector plus half m2 v2 vector, this is the vector v, plus energy q in the form of existence of energy or in the form of giving the energy. So this is, here we have this value. Well, we do not have pretty much workspace there, so we will use this workspace. I think I can clear this off. Okay. You remember where did we got such kind of values? According to the law of conservation of momentum. According to the law of conservation of momentum, the values like m1 u1 vector, m2 u2 vector are equals to m1 v1 vector, m2 v2 vector, these values are equals, and if we use these values in this equation, this is again an equation saying if we use this value, if we use this value in this equation, in that equation, which is the equation representing the total kinetic energy in the reference frame S dash or the secondary reference frame, what we will have? We will have half m1 u1 dash square plus half m2 u2 dash square are equals to half m1 v1 dash square plus half m2 v2 dash square. So this is what the law of conservation of energy is satisfied here. This equations gives us the relation saying that the law of energy remains conserved. Well, say sorry, I forget one thing, writing the Q factor, which is again the energy in the form of existence or energy in the form of giving here. Okay, so this equation represents, well, this is not representing, but this is justifying. This equations justifying the law of conservation of energy for law of conservation of energy for both the frames S and S dash. Okay, so this is all for today. You can take a screenshot for your reference, and then we will end up our lecture here. Okay, so I hope that you are done with the screenshot. So this is all for today, and thank you very much for watching this video again, and greetings, a pretty much a handful of greetings for you. So thank you very much again for watching this video. If you learned something from this video, then you can give a like or give a thumbs up to the video, and if you don't, then you may. So keep on learning with our Mehta PG College online study portal, and you can share this video with your friends who are involving in the studies for the BSc first year. Again, if you want to watch these kind of videos and want to learn more, then please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. So thank you very much again and again to all the viewers, and have a great day ahead and a happy learning. So this is Mehta PG Online Study Portal. This is Mehta PG College Online Study Portal signing off.